Hello, I'm Jordan Guth. Some of you may know me as the host of Season 2 and now Season 3 of the Soundstage Audiophile podcast, as well as the lead reviewer for a new video series on our YouTube channel called Practical Audiophile. Today, I'm here to tell you what's new on the Soundstage Network for August 1st. Over on Soundstage Australia, editor Edgar Kramer reviews Kudo's audio flagship loudspeaker, the Titan 808. This 2.5-way design, which can be run in either passive or active configuration, houses the tweeter and mid-bass drivers in a large top cabinet, while the lower cabinet features twin bass drivers in an isobaric alignment. Edgar writes, "There's just an overall musicality and a just right sweetness to the way the 808s deliver music. Feed them with neutral electronics and you'll be stuck to your listening chair for, well, rather long listening sessions." If you haven't read Roger Cano's unboxing blog on NAD's new Master M66 stream preamplifier, you should head over to Soundstage Global and read it right now, because this is a groundbreaking piece of equipment. The M66 features BlueOS multi-room streaming, Dirac live room correction, and Dirac live bass control. To help Roger with his M66 review, NAD also supplied two M23 power amplifiers. Operating in bridge mode, these powerhouses deliver a whopping 700 watts per channel. Soundstage HighFi will have a full review of the M66 on September 1st. In his coverage of this year's high-end show in Munich, Jason Thorpe had some fun at the expense of Voodo Labs, a boutique cable company based in Hamburg, Germany. But after using Voodo Labs' Witchcraft speaker cables in his own system, Jason is singing a different tune. He writes, "The Voodo Labs cables were uncanny in how realistically images were portrayed. Incredible solidity with rock-solid positioning." As senior editor of Soundstage Ultra, Jason gets to try out some mighty exotic equipment. But this gig isn't exactly a bed of roses. Jason has to schlep speakers that weigh well over 100 pounds, assemble finicky turntable gear, and then disassemble and repack the stuff when he's done. In his monthly editorial, Jason describes a typical week in the life as a reviewer. On Soundstage Access, senior editor Dennis Berger reviews Peachtree Audio's Carina 300 integrated amplifier. This distinctive-looking amplifier, which puts out 150 watts per channel, made quite an impression on Dennis. It is something that far too few products in the budget-friendly audio space have. Personality, Dennis writes, and adds, "It's not a commodified black box." In his monthly editorial, Dennis talks about joining the vinyl resurgence. Owning a turntable and hanging around in record stores has reminded Dennis about the real point of our hobby, the music. Dennis writes, "If there's one thing I appreciated about my vinyl experience to date, limited though it might be, it's that it's liberated me once and for all from the notion that if it's not hi-fi, it's not really a proper music experience." On Soundstage HighFi, Matt Bonaccio reviews Orchard Audio's Star Crimson Mono Premium Power Amplifier, which is rated at 150 watts into 4 or 8 ohms. The Star Crimson is a Class D design, but uses gallium nitride output transistors instead of conventional MOSFET devices. "I've always been a bit weary of Class D amplification," Matt writes, but then adds, "This pair of Orchard Audio Star Crimson Mono Premium amps has turned me around though." For his latest System 1 feature, Doug Schneider reviews the Bison Twin Tower floor standing speaker from Totem Acoustic. The Twin Towers in satin white must be the most attractive of Totem's current and past offerings, Doug writes, then declares, "And of the ones I've heard, it's also the best sounding." On a recent Real Hi-Fi video, Doug Schneider gave his unadorned opinion of crossoverless single driver loudspeakers. "They're mostly crap," he bluntly said. In a guest editorial, Matt Bonaccio offers a different take on single driver speakers and other off-the-wall audio designs. "I remain curious about the likes of tubes, horns, and indeed single driver speakers," Matt writes, then explains, "I want to know what it is about technically imperfect or strange gear that people find so compelling. I want to understand the experiences these devices create and why and how they do it." On Soundstage Simplify, Gordon Brockhouse reviews the gorgeous Capella active speaker system from Triangle Hi-Fi in France. Gordon says he loved the sound of these two-way active stand-mount speakers. Both male and female vocals had substance and body. Instrumental timbres were always convincing. Gordon writes, "The Capella's ability to reveal subtleties in musicians' touch and technique was most impressive." On Soundstage Experience, senior editor Joseph Taylor writes about the role of Record Store Day in the vinyl revival. Joseph has been collecting records since he was 12 years old. Even after more than 50 years, I walk into a record shop and feel excited that I'll find something I've been looking for or that I'll discover something new, he writes. Adding, I still get a thrill at seeing rows of records arranged alphabetically by genre. For his Art Plus Tech column, James Hale listens to remastered albums by Jimi Hendrix through the Marantz Model 50 integrated amplifier. On Soundstage Solo, senior editor Jeffrey Morrison reviews Westone Audio's Pro X10 earphones. Jeffrey writes, I don't think I'd call the Pro X10s flat, but I would call them fun. Then adds, overall, they have a sound profile I typically like, and their small, comfortable size and great noise isolation round out a solid package for $200. In his monthly editorial, Jeffrey addresses a topic that should concern every audiophile and music lover, hearing loss. Our headphone hobby requires at least some hearing acuity, Jeffrey observes, and yet I see very little discourse about the potential damage loud sounds can do to your hearing, permanently. That's everything, but I want to remind you to check out soundstage.com to find all the new article links. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel already, we're at youtube.com/soundstagenetwork. We have new videos posted every few days. And if you want to hear more from me, check out the Soundstage Audiophile podcast. We have a new episode every 2 weeks. Or check out the Practical Audiophile on YouTube. Thanks for watching and see you on August 15th.